I'm about to make Magic players and Pokemon investors mad in the same video. Let's do it. Magic players are furious at Hasbro right now for all the Universes Beyond set, and they're gonna teach them a lesson by giving them hundreds of millions of dollars. Nothing, but if I sold a product and the players were saying, "You're destroying the game," while simultaneously throwing money through my window, I would probably not stop doing the thing that's making them give me money. Meanwhile, Pokemon collectors scream for a whole year, "Please print more cards." And when it appears Pokemon starts printing more cards, prices start falling, and then we reach the exciting end phase where the players are like, "No, not like that." You ready? I'm ready. Let's go. Let's make some people mad. So everybody tends to call this the summer slowdown, where prices don't shoot up every 5 minutes, and then everybody checks their pulse to see if they're still alive. Like, we got so spoiled by this. And then when prices start going down, and this happened before they started printing more cards, everyone panics, everyone cries. Why? Why is this happening? Some investors are crying that their cardboard prices went down. Other investors are happy that they can buy in at a better price now to make more money later. But who knows how much is going to be printed, new facility and everything. As a business person, I actually kind of like this. A slower market is where we see who has like a real business strategy, because when everything goes up, you're playing on easy mode. When everything starts going down, now you're playing on hard mode. Like, if everything just keeps going up, how do you know if you're good at this, or if you're just in a bull market? You don't. And that leads us to a question. So if Pokemon will keep going down, who actually benefits from that? If the prices keep going down on these major products, then we get to see who's really a good business person. Pokemon 30th anniversary. Talk about this for a minute. This is coming out September 16th. Now, this is the equivalent of Pokemon announcing the boss battle ahead of time. $495 for the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box. My cat is ripping up boxes, and I'm going to let him. Demand is going to be crazy for this set, and everybody knows it. This is why a lot of people are selling off other boxes. They want as much money, they want as much credit card bills paid as they can, so they can bot the websites that drop 30th anniversary stuff. Pokemon knows how popular this is about to be. So if the printing facility in North Carolina is already being used to some capacity, then we're about to find out what that actually means. Because this is going to be a fun experiment. If they actually print a ton of this stuff, and a lot of people want this stuff, then we're going to see something that hasn't happened in over a year, where a set that's extremely popular, that everybody wants, isn't going to be immediately unobtainable. What does that mean? Now, everybody says they wanted enough supply. What if you buy it and the price doesn't go up? Do you still actually want it? I have a theory that some Pokemon collectors don't actually want more stuff. They only want more stuff for themselves, but they still want to see the prices go up. We could talk about Delta Rain for a minute. ME6. Here's the card list. Full preview based on Storm Emerald. Some good cards in this set. Oh my god, the Kyogre looks sick. Bro, the Groudon looks good too. Holy sh! This Rayquaza looks amazing. So even after the hype of the 30th anniversary, they're already planning the next way to take our money, which is awesome. This 30th anniversary isn't just competing against itself, it's also competing against the Delta Rain stuff. People are gonna have to split their money between the 30th anniversary stuff and Delta Rain, because this is coming out November 6th. This could actually make this more available. And that also means some people are going to sell their 30th anniversary stuff when they see Delta Rain comes out and they like the cards, so they could buy Delta Rain, which means more sellers makes the price generally go down on TCG Player and eBay. When the investors see that the prices aren't going up, if that happens, if the prices aren't skyrocketing, they might say 30th is going to be printed too much, let me sell this and buy Delta Rain. This release cadence of Pokemon is just insane right now. But as a business, it's interesting that these stores are not my competitors. My competition, when it comes to 30th, is actually the Delta Rain release. The next set is always my competition. Now let's piss some Pokemon players off like I promised. Okay, here we are. The best Pokemon deck in the trading card game right now, lightly played, $39.55. I am so sick of these annoying people saying, I just want to play. It's too expensive to play right now. I can't play the game. The best deck where you can be a child. Get this deck and you can beat grown men, top 8 at a major tournament, top 4, top 2, and win the major tournament for a $40 deck and $6 sleeves and a $10 playmat. That's all you need. It is a very cheap game to play. And it's a $39 deck. And that's because there's one copy of Unfair Stamp in it, which is $17.34. You gotta think of how wild this is. Like, oh no, I need 2 Blaziken EXs that cost $1.21 each. Oh no, 2 Dragapult EXs, which are $2.53 each. Oh no, I need this, $3. How am I gonna get 4 Buddy Buddy Poffins for 16 cents each? How am I gonna afford that? It's an this is the best deck, not a bad deck, the best deck right now. How are you saying it's expensive to play? Stop the cap. You compare that to any other card game and they're gonna laugh in your face. Not one card being $39, the whole deck being $39. Because contrary to popular belief, you don't make a deck by opening packs. No one does that. Trading. It's a trading card game. You trade for the cards you want. You have to separate playing the game from buying sealed packs, which have a 1% chance to have something good in them. There are at least 4 different hobbies wearing a Pikachu trench coat. Playing the game, the gambling part, which is opening packs, which should we really be like teaching kids how to do that anyway? Collecting, investing, flipping, like it all is Pikachu, but they're all different. We got to separate them a little bit. Going from the peak of, it looks like $645 and now it's under 500. That's a 26% decline in 3 months. If you've been complaining that Pokemon is too expensive like these people, then this is a good thing. Now, PokeNE, Alpha Investments, Anon TCG, everybody's fighting. Is this a reprint? Or is this a restock like the Safari Zone said? Whatever. Like, that's an interesting debate, but from my standpoint, it's much simpler than that. There are more boxes for more buyers. Period. More boxes with the same demand makes this downward pressure. That's how that works. PokeNE's point is like almost painfully funny. When he's like, oh no, a card printing company printed more cards. Who could have saw that coming? I don't need to know if 475 is going to turn into 600 again. Needing to know that, in fact, makes my business more fragile. I'm not super interested in taking bets. I'm just not. And I don't know where the bottom is, but fortunately I don't really get paid for finding the bottom. Which brings me to Magic, baby! If you think Pokemon players are confused about what they want right now, let me introduce you to Magic. Oh boy. 4 days from recording this video, The Hobbit will be released. This is Universes Beyond set, $884. In October, Reality Fracture comes out, $475. Star Trek around November with $700 price tag. Same product, different faces on it. Let's look. Universes Beyond 800. Regular Magic set, 400 something. Star Trek, just about 700. Let's look at the play boosters. The Hobbit's coming out, about $200 a play booster right now. Reality Fracture, a non-Universes Beyond, down to $126. Star Trek, higher again. Higher, being a Universes Beyond set, it's higher. Why is the price higher? Universes Beyond is becoming a huge part of the release calendar, and a lot of Magic players just completely hate this. They cannot stand this. I've heard some stupid arguments. I've heard it damages the immersion. Okay, I'm gonna quit because this set came out, and I don't want to buy it. Okay, don't buy it then. Hasbro is not running a non-profit based on your childhood memories. Immersion is super important for you people, right until Star Trek has a add to cart button. All of a sudden, immersion doesn't matter to you guys. $545.3 million. In Q2 alone, Hasbro's net revenue increased over 16% to $1.1 billion in Q2. Magic the Gathering revenue increased 32% to $545 million. The first time the property surpassed $500 million in quarterly revenue over its 30-year history. You might be like, this isn't success. They have shareholders. It's a business. This is success. One angry Magic the Gathering guy will complain about immersion and walk out of the game store, and before the door slams, 5 Star Trek fans walk in to buy the stuff. It is going to continue. It is not going to stop. I know this is going back, but a 2025 highlight. Magic finishes its strongest year ever, up 59% with the successful Q4 Avatar The Last Airbender set. Hello? Avatar? Immersion breaking? Strong. Now, if this eventually damages their long-term reputation, then they might have a problem, but I don't think the newer players coming in from this are going to care. If they came in from a Universes Beyond set, this is standard for them. They just expect it now. Some rumors. Where is it? Here we go. Will the new 1.3 million square foot card printing facility opening in 2 years crash the market? Anon TCG said that there's rumors that Pokemon is lending some printing capabilities to Hasbro for Magic the Gathering. Now, I don't know if this is true at all. And if we're talking about stuff being printed right now, that's probably stuff being released months down the road. But the implication of this rumor is much more interesting that I don't think people are talking about. Like, I think this went over everybody's head. The printing facility is now a strategic resource. If manufacturers keep sharing printing facilities, that just goes to show how much power the printing facilities have. And if this is true, then Pokemon fans beg Pokemon to print more cards. And in response, Pokemon does the funniest thing and prints more magic. Again, I'm wording it funny and it's just a rumor, so put the pitchfork down. Nothing better than spilling iced coffee on your crotch right before you have to go to work. Now, if Pokemon really does expand their printing facilities and capabilities as much as I think they will, then this is going to stop a lot of the Wave 2. Like, we get a wave of Pitch Black and then we have to wait a month, 2 months for the second wave to finally arrive because they were behind somehow. It's just not good for stores. Like, in the next decade, a booster box is not going to be the most important thing Pokemon has to make money. I think it's going to be owning the printing facility that they can lease and lend out. And can we talk about a Pal World rumor? Pal World booster box, $160, or $180 with free shipping. Maybe I'll buy some from Forge and Fire Gaming or from Game Nerds. I don't know. But there's a rumor, again by a non-TCG, that some distributors are not carrying Pal World on purpose because they don't want to rub Pokemon the wrong way. We know Pokemon and Pal World doesn't get along. A lot of you guys look at Pal World like, okay, it's like a silly little knockoff. Prices are already going down, whatever. Maybe y'all don't realize how big it actually is. Can I just show you this? These are the Steam charts. Oh, 334,992 players right now. That's a lot of players. What about 48 hours? 40 hours. Look at all of the players. Oh my gosh, 6 a.m. At 6 a.m. there was 352,000 players playing Pal World at 6 a.m. today. This is serious stuff. All-time peak. 2.6 years ago, there was 2.1 million players at the peak playing Pal World. And you think there's not a chance these boxes increase a little bit? And there's an error box where they forgot the L and it said Pal Word. Where is it? There, up here. Top right corner, it says Pal Word. So $160 for this error box. Like, if I had investing money, I think I would probably buy a lot of this. But it also makes me think, how important is Pokemon access to distributors where they don't want to carry certain games, if that's true, just because they don't want to rub them the wrong way? Well, I know a lot of people only have a distro account just to buy Pokemon, and that's tons of them. So Pokemon's competitive advantage isn't just that they have a big IP, it's also, if this is true, that distros that only want to carry their stuff is another competitive advantage. So people beg for Pokemon to print more, Pokemon prints more, prices go down, and investors start getting nervous. Magic players stop printing Universes Beyond, but they pay more for Universes Beyond. Pokemon players say playing the game's too expensive. The best deck out right now costs under $40. People are asking if $474 is the bottom. Probably not. I don't know. Again, I have a competitive moat that's a little different than this. But the Pokemon and the Magic the Gathering stories are coming together because people are saying one thing with their mouths and they're putting money for the companies to do something else. But at the end of the day, I don't think these trading card game companies are ignoring us. I think they're just listening to what we do with our money. And if the strategy is for the next guy to pay more than you, then eventually you run out of next guys. If you're an investor and you're not leveraged, you can hold on to something until the price goes up. You could take the alpha investments way of doing it. But if you're not sitting on millions of dollars, that might not be the best use of your capital to sit in something that went down for years. Like when you're starting out, I think that's when you take riskier choices and it makes sense mathematically. You don't have anything to lose. Why not be risky then? And that's going to conclude this video. Please subscribe, and thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I truly appreciate it. And I'm going to get back to my corporate job, where I'm going to, I guess, lose my soul just a little bit more, but maybe someday my business will be big enough where I don't have to do that anymore. We'll see. We're going to find out. Okay, have a good day. Bye now. Subscribe. Yep, yeah. Are you subscribing? Bye now. Bye. Have a good day. Have a good life. Yeah, bye. Have a wonderful time.